Hi, I'm Joshua Hardaker, and I am increasingly convinced that I could be a devastatingly handsome man, if only I had a different face on top of a leaner, more muscular body. Sadly, I think a bylaw that allowed pedestrians to clothesline cyclists who ride on the sidewalk might cause more problems than it would solve. I was staying down east. I was in New Brunswick. Snowy, got stuck at a little motel off the side of the highway there. An old job. It was nice, it was comfortable, but the TV didn't work so well. Got 3.5 channels, and 2 of those were French. So I was looking around for something to do, and I found a book I guess somebody left behind in the room there. Started reading it. Fascinating. I was really impressed with the story. It was about this guy with superpowers. He puts a gang together. They go out, but the government catches on to them, kills the guy. He comes back. He's like a superpower zombie. It's incredible. It was called the New Testament. I forget who wrote it. I guess you could probably Google that. Look it up. One thing you'll hear is people will say, every time God closes a door, He opens a window. You'd be like, oh man, I just lost my job. And so he says, oh, don't worry. Every time God closes a door, He opens a window. This is supposed to be somehow comforting, to think that the most powerful being in the universe is obsessive-compulsive. I shouldn't make fun of religion. I really shouldn't. I mean, if you have a faith and that gives you comfort, more power to you. Ugh. Except for those smug Buddhist pricks, they're all like, ooh, look at me, I'm one with the universe. Yeah? Fuck you. You know what I hate about them the most? No matter how much I hate them, they never get mad. When those guys get mad, they don't even blow shit up. They set themselves on fire. Huh. Pretentious! I don't have a faith myself. I don't practice a particular religion. But I'll tell you what. I was on the subway the other day, and this guy is walking down the subway carrying his entire life in plastic bags. He just kept saying, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming, Jesus is coming. And I started to act like I was really good, just in case. Yeah, but I guess I must have missed him. One thing that really gets me is that whole creation story. Because, like, in the beginning, God created the universe and everything, and then He created a garden. But then He looked around and decided that the place needed a little bit of looking after. So He created Adam. Basically, on the 6th day, God created gardener. Then the gardener got lonely in the new place, had a wife, some kids, a few billion grandkids. Next thing you know, we're all cousins. And you know what, that story, right there in the beginning of Genesis, I would have thought that all those Bible-thumping conservatives down there in the U.S. would be a lot more sympathetic to the Mexican immigrants. Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? You know how when somebody is describing the size of something, they'll say it's like so many football fields long? Now, I understand, that helps you describe the size of something that's really, really big, but I suck at doing that NFL CFL conversion. Now, if somebody does something like that to you, what you can say is, did you mean Canadian or American football fields? And if they say American, then you can say, well, that's pretty big, I guess. What if somebody wanted you to explain how big a football field was? What are you going to say? Like 3 3/4 hockey rinks? Because then they come back and say, what do you mean, NHL or Olympic hockey rinks? You see, it just gets more and more complicated. Another one of those things is when they say if you had so many of these things stacked up, it would reach the moon or go around the earth. An example, if you took all of your excrement over your entire life and you laid it end to end, you would be very, very lonely. So that reminds me of a great business idea I had once. Celebrity turds. I just know there's a market for it, and celebrities are literally flushing those dollars right down the toilet. I figure the only real problem I would have with this business is Provenance. How do I prove that the turd came from the celebrity I say it came from? They can't sign it with a Sharpie pen. I'm pretty sure that won't work. And I don't think that Angelina Jolie is going to let me photograph her in the act. Be nice to try. Of course, if you're interested in owning one of Adam Lambert's turds, I think his album's out now. Just saying. I used to have a really old TV, and whenever people would come over, they'd say, "You really have to get a new one." You know, I figure as long as it works, why bother replacing it? I'm not going to just do it for the sake of keeping up with modern technology. And, you know, they have color TVs now. It's incredible. I went out to get a new TV. Finally, my other one did die. And I had to get one of these, you know, big rectangle TVs. It's like the only kind that was available. And I'm watching TV and I'm thinking, wow, Danica Patrick's really let herself go. And then my wife explained aspect ratio. Let me explain that one again in a way that makes more sense for the ladies. I'll tell you, I thought Jean-Paul Gaultier's put out a plus-size line for Hermes until my wife explained aspect ratio. I hope that helps everybody understand what I meant. The funny thing is that my wife watches The View and Oprah, so I don't really know how she would know if the image was too wide.